Mattel Electronics presents the Intellivision Gamer.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Intellivision Show, episode 74. I'm your host, the Intellivision Gamer. Today we have an interview with Thomas, and he's working on a device for Intellivision, FujiNet, and online multiplayer gaming, which really excites me. I think the more people tried it out that say they wouldn't play games online, I think they would love playing all their old games against other people that know how to play. I know I love doing it, whether it's live over the internet. I've actually done it a few times with an emulator years ago, and man, is it a blast. If Sean's here, I kicked his arse at baseball, among other people. We're also going to have the rest of the regular show after the interview, although I don't see him in here yet. So if he's late, we'll go ahead and do the regular show first, and then we'll bring him in whenever he shows up. We have news mail call. We have pretty good amount of stuff on mail call. We have a homebrew highlight game on Space Raid, which is a 2014 release from CollectorVision. If you're new here, please give the show a like. I do Intellivision content every week. And so if you like Intellivision content, consider subbing. We're getting up there. We're getting dangerously close to 1,000, a few more months maybe, which is pretty cool considering it's just a small group compared to everything else. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, AtariAge, and I have the Retro Gamer channel as well. All those links, including my email, are in the description. So let's welcome everyone in chat, and then we'll get started. Benville was first. I don't have to see it, but I know he was. Can he do it? Tune in and find out. I'm not sure if we're talking about online gaming or Castle of Death, because last night, we'll get into that, but I did do something with Castle of Death. Retro Dean 66, good evening, IntelliGamers. Good to see you. Man of Basics here. Welcome. Pierre. Bonjour, Pierre. We've got Harvey Decline. Good to see you, Harvey. And you were here before we even started. Kurt Bradshaw's here. Good to see you, Kurt. I haven't seen any posts about new games, buddy. Have you got anything in the works? I see Thomas. We'll bring you on in 1 second, Thomas. What do you see? Who else we got here? Rick, what's going on, Rick? Good to see you as well. We got TJ, my favorite bastard, in the chat. He's like, is this channel for Magnavox Odyssey 2 rules? I'm like, yes, I do love Odyssey, but Intellivision kicks ass, as I said right here. Who else is here? Michael Doherty, what's going on, Michael? Good to see you. Chat with Michael almost every day. Code Monsieur, you know where. He is from Georgia. Doesn't even have to say it anymore. Almost to the bottom of this list, I think. Oh, the Huck. Smoke break with the Huck. Good to see you. Brian F. What's going on, Brian? All right, quick channel update. A lot of people have been asking, so I did do memberships. I have 2 tiers. I have a 99-cent tier for those that want to be members and see their name in green and get all the little emojis and, you know, what else we got here. We got perks, loyalty badges, emojis, early access to videos. Whenever I post those out, you'll get them like late at night until the morning. Not too much of an early access, but 49 group is Intellivision Masters, the first one being the Intellivision Gamers. All the same perks as the first one, but also an occasional live gameplay and chat stream whenever we can work those in. Again, this is no pressure. This is just for the people that want to do it. I get asked all the time, and there you go. Finally got AdSense sorted out, which wasn't easy, and here we go. Also, I got a new 49-inch ultra-wide monitor, which I didn't really need it, but man, this thing is amazing. I'm looking at it right now. I had one decent-sized monitor, and now I've got everything up and visible, which is going to be awesome for streaming. And why I got on an Amazon Prime Day deal, and man, I'm not used to all this real estate. And then I still have the big gameplay monitor, and I can mount the other old monitor off to this side for even more content. But man, I love this thing so far. Quick personal update. The house edition's been going great. They did a lot of cement for the foundation and footings today. It's exciting to see that go. I can't wait. Up next, after a few days, is going to be the rough plumbing and framing. framing within a couple days, it's gonna look like something big. So I'm really excited about that. What else would he do? Yeah, not a whole lot else. I had family from out of state. I wasn't doing much online the last week. I was doing a lot of family dinners and hanging out. It was good to see them, even if it didn't seem to last too long. It's always great to see family. All right, let's go ahead, catch up on chat here. We'll bring on our guest. Fat Boys Gaming and Nonsense. What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Smash that like button. Thank you. We got Cyrus, Super Mega Graphics 64. I'll be watching but not chatting. Jon Snow is being a baby, insisting on two-handed petting. Are you sure it's a cat? He's the boss, I guess. Yeah, cats are the boss. We have one too, and boy. Yeah, it is. And now I somehow have two of them. So everything that I had before it got shut down is somehow on another one, and this one's a different one, and I didn't change anything except click yes, try again. So I have to sort that out. I gave them a stool sample. It was easier. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Oni, what's going on, sir? Oops, missed that. And Anime Bailey, we haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. All right, let's go ahead and bring on Thomas, who's going to tell us all about a new device, which is pretty exciting, if you ask me. Welcome, Thomas.
Hi, good to be here.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fine. How about you?
Not too bad. Always love doing this show. I honestly don't know how I find the time to get everything ready, find the content, get it off every week. I think it's just because I feel like I have to, and I always just make the time. Yeah, but I don't know how I do it. For those of us that aren't familiar with you, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I guess in my best capacity, I am one of the founders and firmware engineer for a project called FujiNet. FujiNet is a network adapter platform that started off on the Atari 8-bit machines, and then it expanded onto other platforms, the Coleco Atom, the Apple II, TRS-80 color computer, and so on. So what we're doing now that we've got a huge number of FujiNet devices that we've done for platforms that have like serial ports, like the machines I just mentioned, or the RS-232 version that plugs up to PCs. Now we're starting to take and do this network adapter for more systems, including bus-based systems that have cartridge slots, such as the Intellivision here. As for the FujiNet itself, the best way I can describe it, it's an internet peripheral for your favorite retro computer or retro gaming system. Well, what would that look like? It would be essentially a way to load software from the internet or from local storage. For computers, you also have the ability to do things like have a virtual printer, so you can take and print something from Print Shop. It emulates a whole bunch of different printers, rasterizes out to PDF, print on a modern printer. It has a network adapter. And the network adapter is very unique because it basically gives these resource-constrained machines the ability to communicate with the modern internet by basically taking on the heavy load of doing modern communication with modern internet endpoints. Because as it happens, this FujiNet device is many hundreds of times more powerful than the computers that it's connected to.
Oh, wow.
So it can do things like connect to websites over HTTPS. It can parse JSON documents. It can parse XML documents. It can talk to web APIs directly without anything in between. What does this mean for game consoles such as the Intellivision? Well, from the most pragmatic standpoint that I can think of, is that it allows us to take and stream any Intellivision game that's currently out there, could be sitting on a server someplace on the internet, and be able to stream it directly to your system.
Oh, nice.
First. So you potentially have online libraries that you can take and connect to, stream the game in, Robert your father's brother. So, but the other aspect that will be of most use is the network adapter. And the
Yes.
network adapter will allow these game consoles to participate in multiplayer online games in ways that can cross platforms. Now, I need to make a point very early on here. The way that we're concentrating on here, we're concentrating on trying to make it so that we can make new multiplayer games that all of these different systems can play together, rather than focus on trying to, say, play multiplayer games of Snafu or Astro Smash.
Okay.
Although, if someone finds a way to do that, then cool, we can take and facilitate that as well.
So I've done this, I don't know, like maybe close to 20 years ago now. There was an emulator, and the name of it is eluding me at the moment. And I have played original games over the internet. I don't know if something similar will be able to be set up.
Now, the way that those particular emulators work, they have to employ two programming tricks in order for this to actually work. The first is that they have to synchronize input between multiple players, basically replicating joystick movements or disk movements from one system to the next and so on, and making sure that everybody agrees on the movements that happen. But they also have to take, and being emulators, they can do this just by taking and pulling their memory images, but they have to synchronize the system state between all of these individual systems. For emulators, this can be done because, well, it's running an emulator. You have the entire system memory basically mapped, and you can just send it over the network and synchronize the other machines to all agree on the same memory image. We may have to employ some method to do this, to patch existing games so that something like this could be done, but it would be something that would have to be researched. The one thing that I need to point out, especially with regards to FujiNet, is that we are a public project. We're not some company taking and building this stuff off in the corner, and when it's all ready, we'll take and release it out into the world and say, here, buy our product. That's not how we work. What we do is that we take and design each of these individual FujiNets for all these different systems. We bring them up and we work with people to do that. And once it's ready, we do a couple of things. One, we release all of the information needed to build a particular FujiNet for a platform on our GitHub. That includes the hardware information, which includes schematics, Gerbers, bill of materials, etc. So that anybody who has a soldering iron, who can take and make PCBs, whatever, can do all of that work, can actually take and build the hardware. But we also release the firmware so that you can flash these devices so that they can do the FujiNet type things, and so that people can add additional functionality to FujiNets for the benefit of all of us. But also, we write a whole bunch of example applications to show how to use the FujiNet. In the case of the Intellivision, for example, you guys have NT-Basic. And it would be in everybody's best interest if we took and came together to take and extend NT-Basic to be able to do FujiNet network things. So suddenly now we can take and start writing network-based games effectively.
Yeah, that would be great. Have to reach out to Oscar and...
Yes, I think that would be a most worthwhile effort. Now, the important thing to really understand here, and what we've been able to accomplish, is something that hasn't been done before. We're actually bringing something very new to the table here. We're bringing together the possibility of applications and games that transcend platforms. For example, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see plenty of demonstration videos on FujiNet. And you'll see a few of those videos, for example, playing a game of FujiNet 5-card stud poker. And these are not just, it's not just a whole bunch of Atari 8-bits playing and a whole bunch of different Apple IIs just playing together. It's an Atari 8-bit playing with an Apple II, playing with a Commodore 64, playing with a VIC-20, playing with an Atari 2600, playing with a PC Junior, and so on. All kind of mixed together. And this all happens because we're all talking the same protocols and things over the network.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yes, that's where things are actually going to get interesting. So I saw bits and pieces of mentions here from other people here too. One of the other things that we actually have is also, in addition to this, is the concept of high score enabled games. And that's where we take and patch certain games that so that they can take and send their high score updates to a server so that we can have shared leaderboards that update.
Man, that'd be sweet.
Yes. We've done that for the Atari 8-bit and Atom platforms, and we want to take and bring that over to the other systems as well. Now, I see people talking about, and it's almost like they're completely ignoring the fact that I tried to address this immediately in the talk here. We would love to be able to support legacy Intellivision games, but that will be contingent on us figuring out, and by us, I mean the FujiNet team and members of the Intellivision team, figuring out how to take and patch games so that we can take and replicate inputs so that we can synchronize memory data across and send it across the network so that we can synchronize game states.
Yeah, that a lot of that's probably my fault because of how I promoted it, and I guess I kind of assumed multiplayer gaming. I wasn't quite sure because I hadn't heard anything about this yet either. So that's mostly my fault. But yeah, we know all the right people that can help make this happen. We just have to start reaching out, and big team project. Once you guys get your end done, there's people that can make it happen.
Absolutely. I think it's completely possible, especially because from the hardware perspective here, we're building what is essentially a cartridge that plugs into the cartridge port. So it has it can look at the bus. It can look at the entire bus and see what's going on. So potentially we can take and snoop those signals and get things that we need. And snoop the bus effectively. It's just figuring out what would need to happen. So again, once we actually get to a point where things are working and we've brought the platform up, then we take and reach out to vendors that are selling Intellivision hardware, etc., so that they can say, here's the stuff, everything that you need to take and build an Intellivision FujiNet. Go out and build them. You don't need permission from us. We don't ask for any licensing because we want people to take and build and use these things. And if we take and extrapolate that out, the FujiNet project's been running since the summer of 2019. And to date, for example, there are roughly about 5,000 Atari 8-bit FujiNets out there in the wild.
Oh, wow. The first time I remember hearing about it was from one of the guys in chat, TJ Ferreira, and it was, I forgot what he said, for his Atari 8-bit. This is the first time I had heard of it right here, probably a few years ago.
Yes.
But I, like most people, probably don't know that much about FujiNet.
Well, I mean, it really is. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a network adapter and common platform for every single retro computing and retro gaming system on planet Earth, so that we all can take and participate in things and do things together.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching the videos from TJ, and it looked pretty cool, and everything you're talking about sounds amazing. And if we can get legacy games and with new games and being able to download things. I mean, it just seems like it's pretty much endless possibilities at that point.
Mm-hmm. It's, I mean, even from the typical user's perspective, what they'll see if they're familiar with the Proto 2 cartridge, for example,
Yes.
they will basically see a network enabled Proto 2 cartridge. Yes. So yeah, exactly. So you'll notice that there's a USB connector on that Proto 2 cartridge.
USB-C.
That connects directly to the RP2040 that's on that cartridge. And oddly enough, that is exactly how I have my prototype that's just to the left of me over here connected. I have my FujiNet module basically connected to the Proto and modifying the firmware so that the two can communicate to each other. Once that's actually functioning, then I can take and start actually bringing up all of the different devices and start writing test programs to show how this will actually work.
So the ultimate goal is this person's going to have the PyRTO device and it's going to plug into the USB-C?
No.
That's just how you're doing it right now.
That's just my prototype.
Okay.
I literally am just using the Proto right now to take and prototype it because it has the RP2040. It's plugged up to the bus, and it means I don't have to go and breadboard a cartridge. I already have something that I can take and add the bits and pieces onto. The finished FujiNet device is actually going to have both an RP2040 and an ESP32S3 microcontroller side by side on the cartridge. Ready to go.
It'll be a device that just plugs in like everything else does. It's not going to piggyback off anything.
Exactly.
But they'll be sold similar to the PyRTO2s where you buy the components and build them yourself. And there's also going to be hardware guys and people that make them, and we're going to get them from people.
Any vendor that wants to make them, please just make them. You don't have to ask permission from us. Just take and just build them. And if somebody wants to make it better, go ahead. Just extend off of it. Use our work. Steal it if you want to. We don't care. We just want people to use it.
Just doing good for the gaming community, and kind of like we'll build it. You guys create the products or the games.
Exactly.
Yeah, that just sounds amazing. I love seeing all kinds of things for Intellivision, but when you start talking about new tech and pulling things from from the internet and online gaming with other consoles, and I mean that just sounds like impossible. When you think about Intellivision and Atari, and it's amazing to see these things coming to light.
Yep. And just to let you know, I mean, we were able to basically prove the point. And another aspect of this particular project that's rather unique is that we're actually also a loose confederation of other projects as well. For example, the Atari 2600 FujiNet borrows code and people from the PlusCart project. So they help us, we help them. We share firmware, we share code, we share ideas. The Commodore version comes from the Meatloaf project. The Meatloaf guys come in. We share code, we share people, we share time, and help develop each other's pieces, and so on and so on. So what we've been able to do on the Atari 2600 version, for example, we were able to show at VCF Southwest just a couple of weeks ago, an Atari 2600 participating in a game of FujiNet 5-card stud with an Apple II, an Atari 8-bit, and a PC Junior, and the Atari 2600 all playing the game together. They're all different machines. They all have different capabilities, but they're all talking the same protocol. So, it all works. And furthermore, and this is very important, we're not trying to build some super proprietary protocol and thing that you have to use in order to do all this magic. We're deliberately using open internet protocols. We're using just basic HTTPS. We're using SSL TLS. We're using XML and JSON. And so we've had people take and build chess clients to talk to the free internet chess system. It just talks to it directly and presents a client, so that can be ported over to the Intellivision as well. It's just because this is all possible because, again, the FujiNet is many times more powerful than the computer it's actually connected to. The Intellivision runs at 894.8 kilohertz. When all is said and done, the ESP32 that powers the FujiNet runs at 240 megahertz, and there are 2 cores on that device. So there are 240 megahertz processors that are basically doing the loads. That's how it's able to do SSL. That's how it's able to do TLS. And what the FujiNet firmware is actually doing is it's doing all the hard work of doing all the heavy lifting, all the protocol movements to handle all the protocols, so that at the other end, all the computer has to do is open an IO channel and say, I want to open a connection to this network endpoint over here, to this website over here, or to this SSH server over here, or to this TCP socket, or to this UDP socket. It doesn't matter. There's a whole stack of protocols that we can take, that we have on the device, with room for plenty more that we can take and use to implement all sorts of things to bring these modern systems in. One of the silly little things that I actually want to try and that I want to do is to make a simple dumb terminal for the Intellivision that uses the network device, just to show it connecting to another host. And since the protocols and everything are abstract, I can give it a TCP socket to connect to a TCP host. I can give it a telnet socket to connect to a telnet host. I can give it an SSH URL to connect to an SSH on a Linux box. It doesn't matter. So because it's doing all of the work in between to take and do all the translation and everything. And so, yes, that means there's going to be a screenshot from me at some point with an Intellivision SSHing into a Linux box.
Nice.
Just to prove the point. So there, I kind of got digressed, but we did a whole bunch of different demonstration programs. So we have FujiNet 5-card stud poker. Yes, we're going to do Texas Hold'em. This was a case of me just being silly. I was like, we need to do a poker. Oh, what poker? I really should have said Texas Hold'em, but I said 5-card stud first, and that was the one that we put together.
Yeah, Hold'em's a lot more popular these days.
One. Yeah.
But I mean, just seeing it work across consoles to me is just, man, it's just amazing that can even be done. We never would have thought anything like that back in the day.
And if you go look to, I was at VCF Southwest, and not only was I handling the booth with my daughter, but I was also giving a talk as to what we call the State of the Union for FujiNet. And I mean that quite literally, because again, we're a collection of different projects that are working together rather loosely. Where I show off all of these things that I'm talking about. One of the crazier things that I actually show off in the talk is also things. Yes, that's one of the that's the prototype that I currently have right here. There's one additional connection that I'm using to take and plug into the additional USB port that you see on the ESP32 right there, that goes to my machine as a debug console, as well as to provide power. But yeah, that's the general idea right there. Once it's ready, we basically put the two on a board. So, okay. Some of the other applications that we have to show are things like the ISS tracker, the International Space Station tracker. This is our Hello World application. And it's literally a case of, it goes out to a web service, It it talks to a web endpoint that grabs the latitude and longitude of the current position of the International Space Station, brings it back, and plots it onto a map and shows it on the display. And we had that running on all our machines, at the booth, including the 2600. We'll of course, do one for the Intellivision as well, just to show how easy it is to be able to do that. And the goal there is to be able to do that application entirely in just NT Basic. We also have what we call, we also have a Yahtzee client, which we call Fujitsu. So it implements the classic 5 dice game with all the rules, everything. Nice multiplayer game there. And we also have a yes, and individual games programs. You can and to answer the question that just flew by right here. Yeah, people can ask questions and whatnot, and I'll answer them here. So yes, you do have the ability to do local storage as well. So you can put your games on the SD card slot, and it works like just local game storage there too. Or you can put a file server on your network and load them from there. You've got that flexibility. Let's see. So yeah, Fujitsu. And we have a particular program that one of our hackers worked on, Mark Fisher. He wrote a demonstration program which he called Bouncy World. And Bouncy World is literally a gigantic virtual screen space on which objects can be placed, and they bounce off and they interact with each other. But the wrinkle is that you can connect multiple endpoints. That means multiple computers or game consoles to this endpoint, and they become part of this virtual space. So as part of the demos, we've done this at VCF shows where we have a whole bunch of monitors in a row, just in a grid, where we basically have, this gigantic space, and they're all different computers, they're all different platforms, but they're all replicating this virtual object space with objects bouncing all over the place. So we'll be porting that as well, just to show off the cross-platform aspect of it. And we want to take and do other games as well. We have, of course, a Discord, and the Discord is where all of the interaction happens, and it's where we interact with both users and developers. So if you have a game idea or something that you want to take and bring to this platform, come to the Discord. We can help you, point you in the right direction as to getting everything sorted and on your way, so to speak.
What is the Discord? I'll throw it in chat.
Yeah, I need to take and.
Yeah, I don't know mine either. I'd have to look.
The Discord is simply called. The Discord is simply called FujiNet. I don't have.
Okay.
Yes.
Fuji. They'll be able to find it. And the YouTube channel's the same thing, FujiNet?
No, here I'll type that one into chat here. So,
and once again, anyone that didn't get to see the picture, there is a prototype device hooked up through a PyRTO2, the USB-C port.
That's literally what I'm using. Yeah, that's literally what I'm using for my prototyping right now. And
so
actually,
what stage is the whole project in? Like, if you from idea stage to build them away, where are we at here?
Right now, since I know we've gone past the idea stage on how we're going to do it, and right now we're writing the first bits of firmware that will actually take and connect the RP2040 and the ESP32 together. It's going to take some time for us to do that because we're doing this for several platforms at the same time.
Everyone gets a little piece of the pie.
And that's the crazy thing. Once we know how we're going to do it, and once we actually have this working, there's going to be an amplification effect where the same technique can be used for a dozen more platforms. And as we take and pick up bits and pieces of things that we do for different platforms, we take and spread out to others and others and others. And this is literally how we're going to take and cover the entire space. Now that we've basically proven that we proved the platform with serial-based devices, and the machines that I initially talked about all use some sort of serial connection for their peripherals. Now we're going to be dealing with bus-based devices. That is anything with a card edge that sends multiple data bits at the same time, and that you have to address onto a data bus of some sort. And the RP2040 and 2350 devices have been very instrumental in making that work, because traditionally what you would have to do, you would have to have some sort of glue logic to connect the communication device with the bus. Traditionally, this would have been done with TTL logic, or in recent years, it would have been done with complex programmable logic devices, CPLDs, or field programmable gate arrays, where you put all of the logic onto the, you program all the logic gates onto the chip and have it handle address decoding, bus arbitration, that sort of thing. Now, those particular devices that I'm talking about have a substantial cost associated with them. They, a CPLD, or adding a CPLD or an FPGA to a hardware project will set you back, $50 or more on your bill of materials cost, because they're low yield devices. They're meant to solve complex problems for devices that you're not going to make very many of. But a very strange thing happened. You've got this RP2040, this Raspberry Pico, Pico 2, or 2350, etc. And they're making these things by the millions. And because of that, the yield cost on each of these individual microcontrollers is unbelievably low. So rather than talking about $25 to $50 in your bill of materials cost for that one special chip to glue everything together, now you're talking about 50 cents in singles.
Oh, wow.
So this is a chip that is fast enough to do most of everything that you would typically do with these glue logic chips. And you can do it in these cheap chips. And now because of that, you're seeing devices like the Perto, you're seeing devices like the A8 Pico Cart, like the Pico Gus, the Pico Mem, etc., that are all built around this common core right now, that are becoming what we're calling software-defined peripherals. We're literally taking and we're defining hardware now entirely in code, and it is absolutely fantastic. That's why we're able to finally get here.
So what could publishers do with this kind of pulling games? Just questions popped in my head earlier. Could they sell their ROMs and give certain people access to log in and play their games where they can't be duplicated?
That is something that we don't have an interest in facilitating. If a publisher wants to take and build that layer, they can. We don't prevent them from doing it, but we're also not going to participate in any of that.
Yeah. What about like game testing as they're being developed? Like,
yes, that's a great point. Thank you so much for bringing that up. One of the beautiful things that this actually facilitates here is, and I made a couple of demonstration videos actually pointing this out, where, for example, I made a program on the Coleco Atom that was a sprite editor that allows you to take and draw the sprites on the native hardware, on the Atom itself. And when you're done, it can take and send the data over the network directly to the development system. I show all of this literally being demonstrated. The same thing could be done, for example, for the Intellivision. So you could take and do your tile card, your GRAM card development to do all your tiles, and then you can take and ship them over. Write a little program to take and ship them over so you can see how they're going to look on the native hardware, as well as being able to take and write a bit of your game, build it, throw it on your local file server, and then just load it directly on your Intellivision. Just test it, iterate. Faster game development, so your game development process can go faster.
Okay, so what about like say like I've been a tester on a few games and they send me a ROM. They
Mm-hmm.
would they be able to set up where here's the new version, you guys
Yeah.
go play and test it?
Yes.
And I wouldn't be able to like this would be like a safe thing for them. Like I wouldn't be able to duplicate that. It just kind of goes, reaches out, grabs it, and I play it, and that's it.
Well, you're loading, you're not copying. That's the funny game. You're streaming the blocks of the game directly
From it there.
into the device. So it's again, any protection that the publishers want to take and add on to the top of all of this, that's their prerogative. We're not here to take and dictate what that's going to be, nor to take and facilitate those things, particularly because I don't see the value in things like DRM for low yield hobbyist projects, which is what all of these games really are.
Yeah.
I don't see the value in it. There's no long-term benefit. But I'm not going to prevent any game publisher from doing what they want to do. So
yeah, this is all really cool. You know, I look forward to hearing more and seeing it in action and following along. And I'll definitely message you and make sure I got the right direct links to all social medias, YouTube channels, and I'll put them in the description. Then I'll do a post and make sure everyone can follow in all locations. I think it's very interesting, all this stuff. And I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't understand all of the technical sides of things, but I can somewhat follow along, and I see great potential for what can be done once this is finished. And man, I love the Intellivision and retro gaming, and I love people whenever they're like you guys that are doing stuff to make our world better.
Well, and that's really that's the heart of it for me too. It really needs to be understood. This project gives me the perfect excuse to well, I have extensive cross-platform experience across dozens of different platforms, both computers and game consoles. This project gives me the perfect excuse to do something for all of them and to give back to the communities that have given me and those of us on our team so much.
How many people, just out of curiosity, are on the team?
It fluctuates, but we are approximately, I'd say we're about 8 to 10 people that are constantly around. We operate like a tree fort. That's the best way I can put it. Somebody comes in, they say, I want to work on this. Okay, great. I try to take and facilitate something so that they can do their work. They go off into the corner, they work on their thing, and then they come into the middle of the room and go, okay, this is what I built. Okay, cool. Let's take and integrate this in and see how we can make this all work together. And the whole process repeats. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they leave, and sometimes they come back. So it's very loose. There's no hierarchy or structure.
So whenever you take on a new console, does your experience from all the other consoles help get everything going? Like all the background stuff's done, you just need to kind of like make it.
We do that well, and that helps us in a couple of ways. From a hardware perspective, it allows us our experience on the different hardware platforms allows us to prototype hardware designs quicker because we've dealt with many of the hardware pitfalls with other platforms in the past, and we can take and get a new PCB ready so that we can start working on firmware that much quicker. And that will accelerate once we have our bus designs working well enough. First thing. The second thing is that from a from a software perspective, especially from an application perspective, we tend to like to write things in the C programming language, which means for a lot of different things, we really tend to like to use high-level languages for many things, and for a lot of what we're doing, we're using C, which means there are C compilers for every retro computing system out there, and many retro gaming systems out there. So it allows us to take and write the logic for a game once, and then take and pull out the system specific pieces from one system, replace them with another, and get another platform up and running as quickly as possible. So again, the lessons that we learn from one platform help us with 10 other platforms, also on the terms of the software. The Intellivision is kind of an interesting special case, again, because of its unique CPU, but also I think we're very fortunate in that NT-Basic actually exists, and for the Intellivision, NT-Basic will take the place of C for many of the pieces that we're going to write for this particular platform.
Have you already been in talks with, or I mean, I don't know if you can say these things, with Oscar or not?
I have not talked with Oscar at all.
Okay. I know what I'm gonna ask him about it as soon as the show's over. I was just talking to him a little bit ago because I did a 0 death run in Castle of Death, which I don't know if you're familiar with that game. It's not easy to do. A lot of people die 100, 200 times, and I just slowly brought it down, and I did a 0 death run. He said I'm the first one to do it. We were going to try to do it live at the end of the show tonight, but I did it last night. So now I'm like, I don't know, I'll ask the chat what they want to see towards the end. But yeah, there's a great community. There's a lot of highly intellectual individuals that can do a lot of amazing things. And pretty much what I do is just share it all and bring it to the masses via YouTube channel, because I'm not smart enough to make a game or devices like this, but I'm smart enough to find everybody, piece them together, and show everyone what's possible, and, you know, bring awareness to everything. That's my piece of the puzzle.
Indeed.
And I do a lot of testing because I pretty much have every single piece of hardware possible, and I can test pretty much anything that needs testing on all different consoles, controllers, games. Like there's almost nothing that I don't have. So that works out nice as well. If anything needs to be tested on certain hardware or combinations, I have it all. Testing
is an important part for sure. So once we get something brought up, yes, we will welcome testing from a number of different people. For those who can build hardware, we can help them so that they can build prototype hardware so that they can help us test. We're looking for help from developers so that we can take and get the features that they want in, so that developers can write games to utilize FujiNet, and so on. I was just thinking about this. The irony here is that I think FujiNet will actually bring the promise of play cable to all Intellivision users.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. And just to show you that I pretty much have all hardware, I've got a couple of these bad boys.
Yes.
And whenever you were talking about, some of the features, I'm thinking it sounds a lot like, what the play cable did back in the day.
Yes. Much the same functionality, except not over the television, not over television FM, but over the internet.
Yeah, which is the modern platform. I mean, yes. I would say that's much better anyway.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, anything else before I let you go that you wanted to bring up or tell us about? Or
if you want more information, our main website is fujinet.online. Fujinet.online will get you a whole bunch of different entry points so that you can get access to our wiki, so you can see documentation. It gives you links so that you can take and buy a FujiNet from a number of different vendors for different platforms. It gives you an idea of the features of what it can do, and so on. So yeah, if you want more information, feel free to start there. Oh yeah, there's also a link to the Discord from the FujiNet.online.
Okay, I spelled that right?
Yes.
Harvey
Yeah.
said that I can toss the play cables. I'm like, do you have any idea how much those cost?
Mm.
Whew. Well, I really thank you for coming on and giving us some of your time and explaining to us. Because I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, I didn't really understand it, but I feel like I have a lot better grasp of what you guys are about and what the project's going to be doing. And I would love to have you on at a later date whenever you feel like.
We'll
If
have
you
more to
want to,
show.
anytime you want to come on, shoot me a message, and within a week I can have you on and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I can do testing. We can show off things if you want. Whatever you need, you just let me know.
Will do. I had actually hoped to take and be a little bit more hands-on and showing some bits and pieces. But as luck would have it, I just completely reinstalled my the operating system on my main development PC. I run Linux, and switched to a totally different distribution. And as luck would have it, it fixed a lot of the issues that I was having with OBS. And everything works now. But the irony is now I have one bug that I have to debug, and that is, for some reason, the virtual camera was not being seen by StreamYard here when I went to go select it. So I was hoping to have different things zooming around as I was showing bits and pieces. I apologize for not being able to show that, but that's last minute type of thing. Maybe that can happen later. But like I said, as we do more, as we get more of FujiNet brought up for the Intellivision, I will be making regular status updates on Facebook, on Twitter, on AtariAge, and I will be making regular videos, status videos on YouTube. I'm extremely prolific and open and compulsively transparent about everything that this project is doing. We don't keep anything under wraps.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I can't wait to hear more about it. Like I said, I'm always excited for new things, especially for retro games and Intellivision. Years ago, you never thought anything was going to happen, and it's like all these amazing things. Someone keeps thinking up of a new way for you to enjoy your old console, and I mean, between the games and hardware and controllers and online devices and multi-cards, it's just amazing that it's still getting love after all these years.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, well, again, I thank you for coming on.
Thank you
I
for
look
having
forward
me.
to having you on again. And next time, that'd be really cool if we could show off some stuff as well, if that's working. I understand that completely, because a lot of times my free time, all the little updates, software updates, I do it on the weekend. So if something goes haywire, I'm like, oh no, how am I going to do this show? And then I have to hurry up and figure it out. And sometimes that happens literally right before I go live.
Yes, that's what happened here.
Yeah, and then I get all stressed out because where it's like, something happens, well, you can still talk about everything, but if I have an issue and something's going wrong and I can't do anything but sit here and talk and not show anything, I can't even do a show sometimes. So I start getting stressed out, and it's like, I need to I don't do an update now until like the next day after a show, because I have a week to get it going if something happens.
Understood.
Yep. And then I was really nervous about getting this monitor, because first time ever, I ripped everything out and apart, got the monitors switched out, put everything back, replugged everything in, did a few tests. I'm like, okay, I think everything's working. You go live and then components don't work, or you can't switch to something, or it's like sometimes I go to OBS and I'm like inverted upside down. I'm like, how did that happen?
I know.
Close it out, back in.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you're live, it's like you're recording, you just start over or edit it out.
Yeah.
But when you're live, it is what it is.
Oh, I know.
But
fun times.
All right. Well, I thank you again so much for coming on, and I look forward to having you back on whenever the time comes.
Okay.
And I really appreciate your time.
I'll keep you posted.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. All right. Well, big thanks. That was awesome. I really appreciate someone taking out time and coming on and telling us about new products that they're working on. And while I had heard about FujiNet and some of the stuff through TJ, I really had no idea fully what it meant. And I feel like we have a lot better understanding now. and I look forward to having him on at a later date when it's a little farther along. And hopefully next time, like he said, he had the plans of showing us and panning around stuff. That would be awesome. Yeah, from a tech side, it's amazing what this could open up. I mean, I started thinking about what about this? What about this? It's like, I don't know what's, possible with, certain technical devices. I just think of, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? I immediately went to game testing. It's like you can have one spot, one ROM, and we don't have copies of it. And these guys can just say, all right, guys, start playing the new version. And we just go on and play it and try it out. I mean, things like that would be amazing along with everything else. And, just, playing games across multiple consoles, that's just, I can't even imagine that. That's pretty sweet. So I got some comments up here. I couldn't really get to them. So if I missed you, I apologize. I saw a lot of comments from Art Bigfall that my no death run's fake, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and get through the news, and then let me catch up and see if there's anything else I missed. We still got the whole rest of the show, guys. We just got started. Yeah, would certainly like to see network gameplay. All of it's possible. It's just a matter of time and getting the right people to give up the time. Like almost everyone in this industry, it's not our main job. So anything that's done is done in one's free time. And, there's only so much free time. So the more people that get involved and more cool stuff comes out, it is a little slow. But, I mean, everyone's doing what they can, and it's amazing whenever this kind of stuff comes to light. Let's go ahead and get back into the regular show. I did a poll. So if you haven't seen it yet, on Facebook, on my Facebook, on Intellivision Invasion, on Intellivision Revolution, and Intellivision Homebrew Games, I put out a poll about online gaming. I didn't quite understand this device when I first asked them to come on, so I might have been a little bit misleading, but all that stuff is possible. I was curious about what you think of online gameplay. I've been waiting for it my whole life. I would love to play some games with my friends now and then, or it's cool, but I don't really play online games. And so far I've been really surprised. It's like, I think there's like a large percent of people that just don't really have an interest to play the games online. It's like, man, I've been waiting my whole life for that. I mean, we did it. Sean, if you're in here, we did it, like almost 20 years ago. We were doing it with emulator, and that was a lot of fun to play the games. But having all these new options is just, I think it's really cool. And I can't wait to have them back on and, and show us some more and talk about it when it's a little farther along. All right, so what do we got? We went through all that stuff in television news. So what do we have today? We're going to go over a few scores, and everything's a little different for me now because I have everything open and sitting here, which is pretty cool, but I got to get used to this. So we're going to go over to the news, and it's not just like right in front of you. It's like way over here. So like right now I'm looking at the edge where I have to click. I'm like all the way across on the side of the desk. So it's not like everything's like right here. This thing is humongous. So we have Intellivision Invasion, and it's nice. I can see my OBS. I can see my StreamYard and all the windows. I can see the chat, and I can have all of the Facebook or website addresses just sitting here. I can see everything across, and that's nice, not fumbling back and forth between the different windows. And of course, it kicked me out again. I really wish I could figure out why it's doing that. Phil, what's going on? Good to see you, sir. Retro Bliss Gaming. If you guys don't already sub, make sure you do. I love Phil. Man, that reminds me, Phil. I have till the end of July. I need to play some of your games for the Retro Bliss Ninja contest. He does a contest once a month, 4 different games, they're random old retro consoles, and does a high score challenge where he sends you, and I have several of them over here, sends you a card. It's a lot of fun. Good way to play games. So this one, Intellivision Invasion Facebook group, this was for Blockade Runner. I don't know too much about Blockade Runner. I've played a little bit, but I did not have time to enter this. Like I said, I had family here most of the week, and I worked the weekend like I do when we don't have things going on. Romaine won again, 59,000. Kurt Kietsky, 51,830. Darwin, 25,050. Jose, 13,100. Michael Doherty, negative 6,350. I can't remember how the scoring works, but how'd you get negative? I'm not sure if you're still here in the chat, but Romaine's going to be picking the next game. I can't remember if that's already been thrown out there or not. Right now, they're playing Swords and Serpents until Sunday, 7:20. So all the way through this Sunday. I think that's a game without an ending, right? If I remember right. I haven't really played that too much. Let me catch up and any truth and doctoring videos. Well, you can see there's no flicker. If you go to the YouTubes and you look at that video, there is no editing done. And we'll try to do a run for you guys at the end of the show, whatever time we got left, whoever wants to stick around, and we'll show it. It's a first ever zero death run for the game that's known from the publisher, the programmers. No one's ever even been close. Man, I was so stressed out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, that was quite an accomplishment. I'm quite proud of it. I went down. My wife doesn't give two shits about gaming, things like that. And I was down there all excited, and she's just looking at me. I'm like, I did a zero death run. Do you have any idea how hard that is? My son came up and he played. I don't know. He wouldn't let me play for a while. He really likes it too. And I went down and said, guess what I did? After I told my wife, and he was like, no way. It's like anyone who's played it knows how cool it is and how hard it is to get a zero death run. Hopefully I didn't miss anything here. Michael says I died more often than I shot down meteors. Art Big Fall. I don't like this channel. It's stupid, right? I can't do the voice. The bartender. Art Big Fall, not cool. You cake eating fat person. All the different personal, or what do you call it? Personas? Is that what they're called? So what else we got here? We got the High Score Club. And this season is about to come to an end, I believe. There are a few games that finished up. And man, let me see if, Rick, if you're here. I can't remember. I have my phone off. Where's your user side of the stream? I didn't see that, Thomas. Sorry. Once I go live, I don't see the text anymore. I don't think Rick saw my... He said a couple games ended, but I don't know which ones. And I know they're playing Save Rickster, which, you guys, this is a free ROM. Let's go ahead and click into this one. If you didn't see this yet, there is a manual, Save Rickster. I've seen a little bit of this game in action. I've downloaded it. It's right here. Free ROM download, Save Rickster. There's the manual you can download. 36 people so far. And that is the contest going on right now. And when you hear me say DPI Sakane, because I didn't know the guy's name, now I know. It's Damien is his name. So it's D. I don't even know how. Pisacane, but it's Damien. He's the guy that made the game. And that's the one you see me talk about a lot in the scoring challenges for AtariAge. It's Damien. When I would say DPI Sakane, that's this guy. He made this game, which is really cool. So go download it. Load it on your PyRTO2s, your LTOs, your backbits, whatever you have, and give it a shot. Enter in. I mean, free game. It looked to be pretty fun. I was been told that it's kind of challenging too at parts. But there we go for that one. Let's go back and see if we can find the games. I don't think Rick's in here. He would be telling me where to go. So High Score Wall, Season 20. Okay, triple action, but not. I always say that I'm going to find which games and open the tabs. Is this a new one? Let's see. July 9th. Wednesday, July 9th or 9th. So this one ended. So here we go. We got Mikey 50 with 2,398,187. Rick 1,739,537. Damien, no longer DPI Sakane. I had no idea what that was. 1,166,817. Crash 7. 969,379. Crash is good at a lot of games. David Vision, 261,125. Garu, 256,360. And Dasho Pepper, 18,683. There's the overall rankings. Talks about games won. I believe this season is coming to an end soon. So what do we have next? Intellivision Collector. So I do have some last minute information. I had to even pencil it in. He's freshly back from vacation. He's approving overlays. If those overlays are up to his standards, high standards, games could be being sold by the end of the week. So we could, if all goes well, keep your fingers crossed, we could be seeing Montezuma's Revenge and also Road Fighter to get a release later this week or next, assuming that the overlays are as good as they need to be. So Montezuma's Revenge is going to be just sold in physical form, and there is a cap to the number that can be sold. That was all part of the licensing deal. There's plenty to go around, but I wouldn't wait around if you're interested in that game. You're not going to want to have to pay more later. And we're talking like Game of the Year material. I have played this game. It is phenomenal. So I definitely recommend picking one up if you're at all interested. I highly recommend the game. It kind of plays like Operation Cloudfire, similar to something like that. So if that's your type of game, I definitely would buy it. Road Fighter, we saw a little bit. Papa Pete's posted some videos. The only one right now. I will have that one shortly, and I'll be playing it on the show very shortly. If I get it midweek, I'll probably go live a special session and play it for a while and promote the sales. So what else we got here? Hamburgers en route to Switzerland. If you guys haven't picked that up yet, Intellivision Collector will have card-only release sometime this summer. So that'll be very cool to see as well. And then one more thing. We've got a lot of games from Electronite on sale or for sale on eBay from the Blue Sky Rangers. Let me go back up just so you guys can see that. Blue Sky Rangers, you guys know who they are. They have Pandora Incident, Ninja Odyssey. Man, Ninja Odyssey is amazing. But right here, one of the newer ones, hard to get, Paulista Avenue Redux. So there it is, along with several others. They've got them listed on their eBay store. Go pick up what you need. Kurt Bradshaw, if you're missing any here, definitely pick them up. Let's go ahead and catch up with chat here, and then we'll move on. Yeah, I can't wait to see you play it, Phil. I can already hear you. Slackjaw, booger eating. I know you're going to be saying all those Phil version of cuss words. I know they're coming because that game will... I mean, some people say it stresses them out and it's not fun, which I totally get that. But for me, I get stressed, but then I feel this like great accomplishment whenever you finally do it. And, you know, it's like, I like that kind of game. It's not my favorite, but I do like those, you know, highly technical, got to be perfect kind of games. Yep, the CC3. And that is one of the early first ones. There's your Cuddle Cart 3 right there. Before that, it was pretty much the IntelliCart. That thing goes way back. Is it 200 copies? I was thinking it was 250, but maybe it's 200. Oh, gee, Hugo, the Intellivision Gamer, will they ever make Hero for the Intellivision? That's already here, sir. It's called Heli on... oh, yeah, here's DJC letting you know. It's called Heli, and we have it for Homebrew, and it's really good, just like, you know, Hero. What's going on, Roger? Good to see you. Yep, it is Heli, and I have it sitting right back there. I've actually played it. There's a Homebrew highlight. If you look at my playlist, OG Hugo, there's Homebrews, and I have it in there somewhere. Heli, you can check it out. Yeah, Red, White, and Blue Moon. Hey, donate here, and he'll drink them there. DJC says, yes, oghugo.com. He has... this cool gamepad controller, and he also, which I haven't got yet, Hugo, I need to get with you. I need to order that. I keep forgetting, is why I haven't done so yet. He also has an arcade stick, and I'm going to order that. It is not out yet, but you can get it from IntellivisionCollector.com in the next week or two. Let's hope. I'll definitely be talking about it, but it's IntellivisionCollector.com. It'll be available. I don't think I finished saying that. That one will just be physical. There is no ROM release for that one. It's not out yet, but if it should be within a week, maybe the end of the week, next week, depends on the overlays for Road Fighter. But Road Fighter will be available, complete in box, and also the ROM package that we've come to know and love from the Intellivision Collector. So make sure to watch for it, and I will talk about it. Believe me, as will Papa Pete, DJC, probably everyone. When we get some great new Intellivision games, it's, you know, we got to talk about it. Yep, great retro controllers for your Intellivision and more. We have so many options. It's amazing. Like I was talking about earlier, all the people that BD Retro Mods, OG Hugo, Retro Game Boys, I think it was. You know, I've got one. If you've seen those 16 direction micro switch arcade sticks, his name's eluding me right now. I just saw it earlier today, and I got a shipping notice. Mine's on the way here, so I should have it for next week's show to show it. I'll show you guys in mail call, which we're about to get to. I posted something in the private studio chat showing what 5-card stud. I was like, for a second, I'm like, who is that? And like, oh, I know who that is. Let me see here. Let me send it via the regular chat. Let me see if I can copy it and send it. This is Thomas. Okay, so this is showing what 5-card stud would look like on Intellivision. That link, someone let me know if that link works. I hope it does. I haven't thrown up links too often, but Michael Doherty, it's not yet. Not yet available. Intellivision Collector will be very shortly. Like I said, if the overlays are approved and they're right, we could see the releases the end of this week. If not, there may be another delay. I'll definitely let you know, and I'll definitely be posting about it everywhere, as I'm sure will Pete and others. I really want to see the keyboard component we were promised back in 1981. We have that. Very few people have it. I don't have one yet. It's one of the few things I don't have. Roger says, glad you mentioned donations, Casey. Are you able to accept them yet? I think so. I think it works. And as I said and talked about earlier, for those of you guys that want to do it, nobody feel obligated at all because everyone's treated the same. There's nothing behind a paywall, as Mike puts it. I do have 99-cent memberships for those of you that want all the little perks and, you know, see your name as being a member. And I have a $4.99 one that will also get everything that the first one tier does. And also once in a while, whenever time permits, we'll do private live stream gameplay chat sessions. So those are live. Everything should be live. Memberships, super chats, whatever you're going to do, Roger. DJC says, OG Hugo, StreamYard won't work with Chrome anymore, so I'm currently using Rumble Studio to stream to YouTube and more. Ask for Smash later tonight. It just won't post till I'm live. Okay. So DJC, like always, most Mondays, he will do a show after me at some point. Sometimes if I go late, he starts before. Sometimes it's after. Depends on how much. Stephen Harvey, does anyone remember Agent USA on C64 game had to contain a virus via training across the USA? It would be a great Intellivision port. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look it up. Link works. Sweet. Okay. That link is showing a sample of what Thomas was talking about, the game working on Intellivision. Roger, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Roger sent $20. It's working. I think someone did it like in the last week or two. No, it was Chuck sent $5. I'm like, how'd you do that? I didn't even know it was working. It just started working randomly on its own. I did nothing. It was down for a while and then just started working. We saw it whenever someone sent it. Thank you, sir. All right, so now we're going to get into mail call. That's all I had for the news tonight. So let's switch over to mail call. So I was like, oh boy, I thought I took the dress off, but I went to show it. This is my other IntelliPort, and this is the coolest one because whenever I talk to him, there you can see the new shipping platform at the bottom. It sets in there nicely. You've got a card in there, and then he has a 3D printed kind of stand for the box, and he put his logo and IntelliPort on there. That's really cool. I think there might be two in here. Yeah, I think there's 2 in there because my first one, he didn't have that done yet. So this is the very first IntelliPort. This is 001, Casey, the Intellivision gamer. Very cool device. Lets you use flashback controllers, regular controllers, 2 players, 4 players. You can pretty much do anything with controllers, including plug in the power cord needed via USB. Very cool. This one looks a slight bit different than my other one. This is the very first one. The prototype, all the testing done. Very cool. I asked for that early on, and it's finally here. All right, make sure I don't show any addresses here. This is from Funstock. I'm not as hardcore on Evercade as I once was, but I did get my Neo Geo Edition Super Pocket. I'm collecting all the carts still, but I used to collect every piece of hardware, even different versions. I just can't do it anymore. Roger, thanks, buddy. Very first member, as far as that I've seen anyway. My very first member. Very cool that it's you, buddy. Someone I've known for decades. All right, what else we got here? I saw this on eBay, and I love stuff like this, and I picked it up. This is a dust cover for the Intellivision video game, still in the packaging, obviously. What's it say on here? Dust cover for Intellivision video game, a product of Transcriber Company, Inc., Attleboro, Maine, made in Taiwan. Pretty cool. I don't have too much stuff like that right now. Running out of stuff to put. I do. You can see part of it. This desk goes quite a bit over. I actually have all the mail call. I have a gameplay monitor. I have an iPad stuck up here for different software purposes. And you can only see the edge of it. Eventually, I might get that gone. Hopefully, that doesn't bother anyone. But it's the best I can do right now. This is a cool item that I recently picked up as well. The guy shipped it really fast. Get it out of here. Can't remember if I told everyone I got it or not. This is the Intellivision Astro Smash Shoot-Off Competitor Patch. You missed some cool technical stuff, Jesse. Good to see you. You'll have to go back and check that out. FujiNet coming to Intellivision. So there we've got a patch. And this is from my buddy Sean. He has a ton of stuff like me. I think this is just bubble wrap, bubble wrap, bubble wrap. It's everywhere. I think that's it. After we were talking about the IntelliVoice units, he sent me one. And yes, it's a regular IntelliVoice, but this little piece on front will come off and show the wireless port. You can see it a little bit in there. I'm not going to pop it off, but it's one of the early ones. This is serial number 202,942. So I eventually plan to do a short video talking about it a little bit. I need to do more of the fun stuff, you know, not just to show. I have lots of plans, very little time to implement them, but I do save a lot of ideas and I'll eventually get to them. A lot of times what happens is other people release videos. I'm like, darn it, they beat me to it. Let's catch up on chat here. Maybe I don't think I missed anything. Jesse, Ivory Tower Collections, one of the best in the business for upgrading your Intellivision consoles. All the ones that you see me use live are done through him. I've got another package ready to ship out to him for, I have a top loader NES. I have, oh boy, I have my Sega Master System, my other Intellivision 2 to get a board swap. And I can't remember what else. I've got a lot, everything I pretty much send to him. The only other one I have is from the Intellivision Collector. He's selling consoles that are already done and you just buy it and he sends you the console. Mostly what Jesse does is, hey, here's my console. He does a personalized experience for everyone. And the video he does is amazing. The work he does is amazing. The level of detail that he goes into. You can do as little or as much as you want. to fix the console, new capacitors, everything. And the quality is amazing. There's lots of options, and I'm very happy with my consoles. They put out an amazing picture, and I'm looking forward to trying down there. We have CMarts for PRGE booth. We have the LumaCode HDMI Intellivision, which in the next few days Jesse reached out to me. He's like, I gotta try it and play it for a while and show it off. He's gonna help me get it going. We'll have to do a video on that and maybe go back and forth between the two, and we can see what it looks like compared to my setup, which is pretty good signal, I think. Yes, I got that patch on eBay. It was an auction with a best offer. I sent a best offer and they accepted it. I own FujiNet for the Atari 8-bit computer, so I would assume it will work in a similar fashion. I'm pretty sure. I'm not real familiar with it. Oops, Jesse, but my buddy TJ, he has the same thing for the Atari 8-bit computer. I believe that's the one he has it for. I saw it a few weeks ago and was thinking about it. I don't think it was that long ago, was it? Maybe if it didn't sell, I didn't see it that long ago. Shawario, what's going on? Good to see you. James Boner, what's going on, guys? OG Hugo at the Intellivision Gamers. So what about the early models of the IntelliVoice? They had, if you pop that, the later ones were glued. And there is that little tray on top that says Mattel Electronics. Those pop off. You can see this one is just kind of floating around there. They'll pop off, and there is a port to put on wireless controllers that were in the works years ago. And only the very early versions had it. After that socket or port or whatever it was wasn't there, and they glued the cover piece on there. So I showed, I don't know, a few shows back, I took one off and I broke the tabs. I've got a ton of those things and I didn't get it off proper, but I was able to show it. And then now we'll do some side-by-side showing what the early ones look like. Jesse says, should be the following: Sega Master System, NES, and that's a top loader, and Intellivision 2, and possible other console. Yes, that's what it was, the LumaCode setup. That's right. OD Hugo, the Intellivision Collector copied my back panel and amp. I have no idea on such things. Benvril, does he fix Atari 2600 consoles? I'm pretty sure he is mainly an Atari guy. Oh, there he is. Yes, I've serviced quite a few 2600 consoles. He's done all my Atari. If you go to Ivory Tower Collections on Facebook, you can find him. He also has a YouTube channel. Gonna make me shut down my shop for a month to take care of your project. Take all the time you need. I'm in no hurry. I won't be hurting for stuff to play, believe me. But I do appreciate everything you do, and I'm so sorry it's taken so long. I'm really starting to get caught up around here. Like, I've done the computer upgrade. Everything's working. I've got multiple cameras. I just need to get a different mount. They're working without flicker now. I've got the gameplay monitor over here, the desk sitting up here. I've got everything else shipped out that I owed people for a few weeks. I do have a few copies of a Colabeth. I'm the only one that has some right now. I've been meaning to post those and get those shipped out. I sent one out to Alessandro Pace, big collector over in Italy. He's got one coming to him. And I sent out some other things that I got for other people. So I'm almost completely caught up. Yep, no hurry. OG Hugo, Television Gamer, how is Breaking Ground? Is that for your new game room? That's going well. I talked a little bit about it earlier. So today they did all the foundation and the little platforms. That was like 10 yards of cement just for the going around the house, the footings, and the pieces all through the center. It looks awesome. I love seeing this happen almost every day. They're here doing something. And next up, it's going to be a couple days for that to set fully. And then they're going to do some rough plumbing, and then the framing is going to start. And I was told when those guys get going, that whole thing, 1,000 square foot, is going to be done within a couple days. Be like, boom, it's just there. And I can't wait to see that. And then once all of it's done to the point where you can actually kind of walk through it all, that's awesome. So the upstairs, the game room here, it's like 420 square feet. And I actually have a fake wall that I had put in on this side over here, I've got like 4 more feet that once the house is done, I'll be able to knock it out and go bigger if I want. And then the other side, I'm going to have some of my gaming stuff, but it won't be too much, pretty much here. But I'm adding 554 square feet and then like another 400 square foot room upstairs. So the whole place will be 2,500 to 2,600 square feet, somewhere in that vicinity. I'm not quite sure the dimensions. I can't quite remember. It's 554 square feet. It takes the full thickness of the house and goes out, however far it's going. And then I have a complete upstairs with stairs going up, and I'll have doors. It's not just a game room, no. I've already got a pretty decent game room set up in here. It's pretty good size. I got a lot of stuff in here. You only oversee right here. So now that I've got the other camera set up and I'm not getting all the flicker, I'll be able to use my phone. I have my old phone. Where's that one? Boop. And we're going to set this up wirelessly whenever we play at different areas, or if I have my kids play, or when I have guests over. One of these days, TJ Ferreira is supposed to come over, and I'll be able to utilize a lot more different setups with the different camera options. All right. Where are we at here? I think, one more thing. I got a new magazine, and there's my address. I love physical hardware. I also love physical magazines. I mean, I'll read digital stuff, but this is the new version of Retro Gamer. You got the new Doom. Or this isn't the new Doom, the retro stuff. And what do we got here? The mini Shigeru Miyamoto. Whoop. Little mini magazine that came with it. Oh, look at all that. F-Zero. I love that game. So I'm actually behind. I've talked about that before. I'm behind on reading the magazines. So that was it for mail call. Next up, Homebrew Highlight. James says, waiting for my kid to move out so I can have a third game room. Fairly certain I'll be dead by that point. It's kind of bittersweet, though. I mean, it's nice to have more freedom and do what you want when all the kids are gone and you're an empty nester, but it's also sad. Maybe when I get to that point, I won't be as sad, but I already dread that moment. I'm older, but my kids are quite young still. They're 9 and 12. So I already think about it, but I don't want to think about them being gone yet. Benro says, TJ, the crazy uncle of retro gaming. Yes, that would be him. So we have, don't forget about it, Homebrew Highlight today is Space Raid. This is programmed by Oscar Toledo G and published by CollectorVision. This was 2014, so this is actually fairly old, like 11 years old. Oop, meant to show the back. Here is the cart. The CollectorVision manual. It's not in your... It's their style. It's not a standard Intellivision style, but everything you need is there. Fairly basic. Couple screenshots. I think I showed that one. The information you need. And here is the overlay. Let's see if I can get that without being blurry. You can see it a little bit. Got like a screenshot there. Shoot, 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 shoot. It's all shooting. Moving the fighter, of course. Oh, yeah. It definitely is. Anything from Oscar is great. Yeah, very true. It's bittersweet. But, yeah, I dread that moment whenever I'm an empty nester. I started so late. Believe me, it's going to be a while. So let's go ahead and check it out. I meant to get a Homebrew Highlight gameplay video ready to go. Expect a Homebrew Highlight video on Space Raid. So there are different versions. So this had a few different boxes. There is the CBS. I think that's what this one is. Still got them in the cases. And then there was this one, This one's quite heavy too. I've never looked inside. I don't even know what's in there, but man, is it heavy. It's like twice as heavy as the other ones. This one says box designed by Steve Jones Box Company. I'm gonna have to check that out before I put it back on the shelf. All right, let's switch over and show some gameplay here. Oh, I have no sounds because my gameplay screen's way over here now until I get a new mount. Space Raid is what I'm looking for. It's hard to find. Yes, it is. It's 11 years since it came out, and there are different versions. There's 3 of them right there, Kurt. Those aren't just boxes. They're CIB. Beta testing CMart. Groovy B. I don't even know who Ed1475 is. I missed some of that there. All right. I have no idea what I'm doing on this one. Uh-oh. No idea why I can't move. Woohoo. Let's try. I think it might be I have to be that certain port. It's weird. I could shoot, but I couldn't move. Got the height over here. I don't know where I need to be to hit certain ones. So up and down are the height. Then you got left and right. And I am horrible at this. Oh, there you can see me get blown up. Normally, I try the games before I show them off. I'm going to have to learn a little bit and practice before I do the Homebrew highlight gameplay video. That's for darn sure. Definitely not used to it. I do like the angle it's going in. It controls very well. Got one. Oh no. And I'm dead. I keep going up and down when I'm trying to go left and right. Well, that's a lot of fun playing games that you don't know how to play with everyone watching. Let's catch up here if there's anything here. I don't think it's difficult. I just have zero clue. Like I said, I meant to try it out before we went live, but that didn't happen, obviously. Watch out for the flickering wall, yes. But you'll see shortly. I'll have out a gameplay video, and we'll get a little farther into it, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to have to spend a little time practicing and learning how to play that. I'll read the manual too. So, but that is the Homebrew highlight. I can't believe that I haven't done that one yet. You know, it's a port of a game that we loved, but Intellivision didn't quite get the best version, and now we have a good version. Yeah, that's what it is. So definitely check out Space Raid, and from Kurt, you know it's hard to find. It is, and let me see here. I can show you guys. There is a website, and it's CollectorVision.com. I'll throw it up here. Give me 1 second. Paste and go. All right, so here's CollectorVision Games, CollectorVision.com. This is for Space Raid. That is the main version. I'm not sure the other boxes, how I got them or where they came from, but Space Raid Intellivision, programmer Oscar Toledo Gutierrez, media cartridge Intellivision 2014. There are pictures of the instruction manual, the overlays in the cart. Got some screenshots. I like how you can go here and see all the information about the game. This was a variation. Here it is, CBS box. I thought that's what that was. I don't see the other one, so I'm not sure what that is. Like I said, it's really heavy too. I need to open that up. Hopefully it doesn't have weird stuff in there. You never know. All right. Where are we at here? YouTube highlight. Go right back to it. So for those of you that don't know, this is my channel. If you go under playlists, and then you go over here to the Intellivision video highlights, it's going to play it. I'll pause it. I thought I paused it. So all the videos that I add that I think you guys should watch that are something relevant, or there's a commercial or a new game, I've been loading them up in here. It used to just be a link, and that was it. Well, I decided I was going to use a playlist. So I leave the link to the playlist in the description of every show, and the newest ones that I add should be at the top. I did not add any this week. Like I said, I was pretty much not available most of the week due to family here. But you can see there are a lot of them, and the older ones are going to be at the bottom. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff in here. And as I find other things, I just add it in. So each week, if I added a couple videos, I'll tell you guys, hey, I added something about this and that. Go check them out. The link's in the description. But here, you can find them all. There's always some cool stuff in there. So again, nothing new this week. But if you're new to the playlist, they're all new. I don't think I got anything else. We're gonna go to that live gameplay. So we'll let a few people vote. Would you guys like to see a really good run for Castle of Death, or would you like to do a game of horse racing live? How far are we in here? Catch up on chat. Oh, we're an hour 30 in. We can do a game of horse racing live. I'd really like to play Castle of Death, and so many people are saying that I didn't really do it. Are they selling? I don't think this is old. So, like I said, that was from 2014. But I like how you can go to their website and see all the games. And they do stuff for other consoles as well. So, would you guys like to play Horse Racing Live, or would you like to see a run in Castle of Death, which is what I had planned? But after I planned it, I actually had a zero death run. If you guys haven't seen that, I have it in my videos on my channel, and you can see what a very nervous zero death run looks like. Normally when I play, I go a lot quicker, but when you're trying to get a zero death run on a game like that, you start taking less chances, and it took about a week and a half of playing that game to kind of master it. So what do you guys want to see? Are you okay with a Castle of Death run? End out the night? Let me know. I've been playing that game a lot. I'd like to play it, but if you guys would rather do Horse Racing Live, we can do that too. Don't everybody speak at once. Back out. Where is Castle of Death? There it is. Poe says beat him and eat him. That game's funny to look at for a few seconds. That's about it. All right. Since everyone's so excited and talking about Castle of Death, we're gonna try that one. We're gonna see if we can do a good run. I'm usually under 10 now every game. The zero death run I've only done one time, and let me tell you, that was not easy. Hopefully it doesn't look like I'm... This is where I have to look now. Oh, you know what I can do now? I totally forgot. Can you guys hear that? I can get my sounds working the right way. I've got the computer upgraded. I've got everything done and situated here. Now I need to implement the virtual sounds coming through. Waited too long. A little bit of story here. "14 games from Rev." Yeah, you need to play it and let me know what you get and how you like it. A few people have the ROMs now. I'm looking forward to it. Mike's Gaming Gala is going to be streaming it live this Saturday. Oh boy, I think it's 11 Pacific time. I could be off. It could be 11:30 my time, but definitely go check them out. Root them on. So you start off. Can you guys hear it? It's not going to be perfect because it's still going through the mic. So the first two, they kind of get you, okay, you run, go through the door, you have to jump, get the key to unlock it. Then the next one is this one where you got to do a single jump. There's single jump and there's double jump. This is the first double jump. If you hit your head, you immediately fall down. So you have to know where to do what jump, single or double. So there is no score. Basically what you do in this game, every time you die, it adds one to your death toll. And whenever you beat it, if you can, it'll say you died X amount of times. So theoretically, everyone can beat this game if you just keep trying. Because you don't ever run out. There's no min to run out of. Like you learn, like if you try to jump there, you know, you're going to hit the top and fall back down. It's just trial and error. Now, what I haven't done is play this very much live and while chatting. That is quite a bit different. Too far of a reach over here to try to keep up with chat. I think I can move this over now since I'm looking this way. This enormous screen there, that's a little better. All right. You've completed the tower. A new tower has opened for you. Password 4921. So you can use these codes. They'll work on any game. So those of you that have this game, you could use the code to practice other areas. You can run and jump in most areas, or you can get up close and try to play it safe. This one here, there's two routes. You can go up top, or you can go down to the bottom. Once in a while, you're going to hit the wrong key. It's going to drive you nuts. When you die, you're like, ugh! Especially when you have a good run going. It's easy to make mistakes. Like right there, that's a double jump, but I'm too far over, so it sends me back down. I need to move over just a little bit, and there we go. And if you're off just a little too much, dead. Almost did a double jump there. That would have been death. Thank you, Code. See, like right here, I can run and jump. But when you're trying to no-death run, you kind of don't take those kind of chances. Gotta go grab the key. Oop, double jump there. Something I would like to see him implement is a timer. I have lots of ideas. I don't know if he wants to hear ideas, but on other things you could do to make other features, you know, to make it harder, to add more to certain levels. I really hope I can talk my way into being a playtester on a sequel if that happens. Another password, 2092. Okay, so this is the first part that's going to drive you nuts. You got to be perfect right there. And this is the first part that'll get you. Right there, I didn't really make it, but I was able to jump enough height to get over it. But I was off a little bit there. Ooh, I got lucky there. There's also another area that if you don't know where it's at and take off running right away, you're going to die once. You just have to learn where that spot is. Thank you, Code. Let me read that here. You know for sure, not for sure, but I did ask for it. And I was told he was thinking about it, and then I talked about it, and then I told Rev Oscar was thinking about it. So I'm hoping I helped it happen. Or, you know, eventually it happen. I would love to see it. Some areas are weight, like you can't go early there because you can't jump over. I think a timer would add a lot to it because not only, okay, I can beat it, can I do it quickly? And also it's like a tiebreaker. Once other people start to beat it, that could be the tiebreaker. How quick could you beat it? I really hope so, though. As soon as I was done, I'm like, I want more. Some of them are a little on the easy side. And then others, not so much, as you'll see. Right here is not easy either. I made it. You probably won't. At least not the first time. See, you gotta be just right in here. Oh, and I didn't. I usually don't die there. You have to be pixel perfect. There you go. It's so frustrating to die on one of those where you... Oh, come on! These are usually stuff I don't die on right here. I did early on. Wow, my internet's super low. I haven't seen on one bar in quite some time. Hopefully I'm coming in clear. Am I stuttering at all, guys? 1917. All right. Now we start with a little bit more of time. Timing it becomes important. I learned a little while ago I can just clear the whole thing. Wait and jump. Boom, boom. I used to go all the way down and around and... And if you don't time that right, the guy will be back and get you before you can go in the door. Like right there, that's real close. Three deaths. Ugh, it feels like I did 10 already. Gotta wait till that guy's going back. Jump over. It's kind of tight quarters. Trust me, I'm making some of this look easier than it is. I waited too long now. So close. It looks like you get hit sometimes. Double jump here, just in time. You will tense up too. You'll be like, "Ugh!" Full body jumps whenever you die sometimes, when you thought you made it and you get tagged. This is another hard part. 7235. Grab those Atari Adventure keys. A lot of times the first one's kind of easy like this one. Sometimes it teaches you a new trick, just kind of gets you ready. Get harder as you move in. You can go this one, you can go down low or up high like that. Sometimes there's different routes. Either one will work. A lot more guys here. The only way I can do a speed run now is by how long the recording is. I would love to see a timer in the sequel. Oh boy, this is the first long jump. The first time I went across that, I didn't make it. You have to keep track of everything. Know where it's going to be when. 8469 Saw Tower. Some of these start to get interesting now. You single jump there, you die. I died here at first too. I think I died over to the right side. I didn't clear this. You barely clear it. If you don't jump right at the edge, dead. This one's interesting too. You gotta jump over, stop moving right in between them, and there's not much room, and kind of float down. And it gets harder. There's other versions of that map that makes it even harder. Now I waited too long. Barely made that. This one, you have to time with the two going up and down and get the key. Double jump here. Single jump, you die. Now this one's easy. These are literally FU levels. You're gonna get frustrated, trust me. I almost died there. Oh boy, this is the funnest one of them all. Woo! I did it. Oop, double jump. You have to, when he's going up, jump over the first saw, float your way down. As soon as he goes above you, you have to move over to the right and somehow maneuver right between those two saws. These get tricky too. You gotta jump in between them and then jump again, narrowly missing them. Woo! That one I get nervous. Now I gotta go back because it's a key. Oh no! That was close. Woohoo! Oh, there's that part. You have to run and be ready for it. If you're not paying attention like I was talking, you die there. The first time I got to it, I was on a pretty good no death run. Of course. And that level ended, that map ended the no death run. Here you gotta wait. Then you have to jump back up here because you have to wait for them to go by. So the first time you're playing it, you kind of watch and you figure out what you have to do and then you go do it. I've been through them so many times in the last week, I don't have to wait. Just kind of bring them all into memory. That's a tight squeeze right there as well. There is one that gets worse. 2945 Ice Tower. I don't know what the heck these guys are. That's another tight fit. This one I find kind of easy. Every once in a while, there's just a random easy one. That one's all about timing. It's not as easy as it looks right there. Oh no! Yeah, wow. Try it yourself. You'll really see the wow. And this game is available. Revs going to have some copies for sale, I believe. And then you can also pick up the ROM at nanochess.org. And I'll try to remember to stick that link in the description. If you want a ROM package, you can order it. I believe it was like $9.95. Straight from the programmer himself. Some of these you see do repeat a little bit. Might be just a different look, or maybe different bad guys. Oh boy, here we go, this one again. Now this one's easy. Open my big mouth like that, I'll probably die. 36-12. We're to 4 deaths, which still is a really good run. It's definitely a lot harder when you're chatting. Tight squeeze through there. Oh boy, here we go. This is the guy again. Oh, you see me jump too. I thought I was going to make it. I can't believe I died there. Well, that puts us at 5. Oh boy, here's that hard one again. Woo-hoo-hoo! I think that's one of the hardest spots in the game right there. This one here too, once the bad guys are there, timing that, the far of a jump, and you need to be perfect. We'll probably see it here now. Yeah, this one. There's not much room for error right there, trust me. Ooh, almost died there. I start to get itchy when I start getting stressed. That was really bad. I've already done a no-death run, so I'm not really nervous now, and I already died a couple times, but when you're trying for the no-death runs, everything keeps happening. Little itches here or there, all stressed out. Everything has to be perfect, and it's like 22.5 minutes of perfection and luck to do a 0-death run. So that's a long time. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, made it. We're getting close here. There we go. After completing the tower, you discover indeed a hidden treasure and the braveness to kill the dead king. 5 deaths. Well done. And there you go. Whew. 5 is my second best. I was under 10 many times. Let me turn this off. Many times, but when I got the 0 death run yesterday, 6 was my lowest. And I wanted to get 5 or under was my next goal. And then 0 was going to be, next. But I hit it last night, so I was shocked. Oh, man, I'm not kidding. My face was all red. I took a little video because I sent it to someone. My palms they're a little bit sweaty right now, but they were sticky and sweaty. My stomach was in knots because that 22 minutes, that's a long time to try to get a perfect run. And so many times like, oh, it got me. Like, I never die there. What happened? Operation Shutdown says, this game looks awesome. I really enjoy it. It's something different. I think it's the only thing like it on Intellivision. I'm not sure if other consoles have a similar game, but man, I love it. I've had it for years. Never knew I loved it. I never even tried it. There's so many back there. I need to try more of them. Thank you. That was a really good game. Even though I died 5 times, you try that game and you'll appreciate a 5 death run. Kurt says, I played it once and lost on my first level. Well, you can keep trying. You can't die on the first level, Kurt. You just have to run across the screen and go through the door. Eminem, Casey's palms are sweaty. Mom, spaghetti. That's funny because I think we're having spaghetti. When I go pick up the kids on Mondays, that's a great thing about having a lovely mom. She watches them so I can do the show. And then when I go pick them up, she usually feeds me. When the kids are out of school, my wife's on swing shift. So either my wife or my mom, they're always great and feed me. But yeah, trust me, your palms are going to get sweaty too. That game's nerve-wracking. Trust me, I made it look easier than it is. All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's show. We saw some cool products, heard some cool news, a little bit of gameplay, homebrew highlight. You got to see a 5 death run, which is, like I said, when you try it, you'll appreciate that. Next week, we are going to talk. We're going to have a panel on. We're going to have Mike's Gaming Gala. We're going to have Brian's Man Cave, myself, and oh boy, I just had a brain fart on. Oh, DJC. I'm sitting here, trying to think of the other 3 guys. We are going to have a live panel discussion on 2 things. What we think, realistically that Atari might do with the Intellivision brand. And we're also going to talk about things we would love to see, whether we think they're realistic or not. So there's going to be 2 sides to that. We'll kind of do some kind of, we'll go in turns. We're not just going to be blabbing all at once. And we'll take feedback and, we'll pop up what you guys think. It'll be an interesting conversation. It's one that's going on quite a bit. We talk about it. Let's do it live. Let's make a show about it. I think it's a fun topic. And we don't do those panel discussion shows very often. And of course, if we have time at the end, if it's not really long, which it may be, I'll also have stuff set up for, other aspects of the show besides. But we are going to start with the panel. And if it goes long, we'll keep going if you guys want, or we'll, move everything to the next week. So, all right, guys, big thanks to Thomas for coming on and all of you guys that were here live. And for all those that are catching up later, I really do appreciate you all. Love for Intellivision is why I do this and spend all the time. And I really appreciate that I get such good watch hours and views. It means that we are keeping Intellivision alive. And I just love that because it's my favorite and first console. So without that, if you guys are new here, which I don't see anyone new, consider subbing because I do put out Intellivision content at least once a week, sometimes a few times a week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, everyone.
Rise up, get ready for the fight. The Intellivision gamer, shining so bright. reviews and gameplay. He's got it all from classics to new. He stands tall. Interviews and insights. He's on a mission, unleashing the power of retro intuition. He's got the knowledge, the passion untamed. Intelli burning with the flame. YouTube's his stage, subscribers unite. Intellivision gamer, he brings the light with the game console.